I first started pole, I was very interested in the tricks, the strength moves, the flips, the really cool things that I've seen online. Over time, I started to realize that there was a whole dance element that I was missing out on. I started to feel inspired by people who were fluid in their movement, who were expressing through the music. And for me, I have no background in dance. Most of my background came from martial arts, from parkour, and at best some team sports, and I played a little music when I was quite young. However, when I tried to flow, when I tried to move and dance with this balletic energy that so many people use in their pole dances, I found that it felt foreign. I felt that it didn't feel true to me. And in fact, I found myself criticizing myself constantly because I didn't have these lines that were built into my body. In fact, I couldn't even create these lines. Even if I tried my hardest, my legs do not look straight no matter how much I straighten them. My toe point isn't trained from childhood. And so at some point I realized that it was better to focus on my own background, to do things in the way that felt natural to me. It was a blessing in disguise. I started to move away from throwing tricks, throwing bigger and bigger and bigger tricks, and trying to keep up with all the things that everyone was doing. It felt so overwhelming that I stopped enjoying myself. Instead, I started to focus on the experience of moving, and if I did flip, it moved naturally into the next movement. So I created Ninja Flow. Ninja Flow is all about following the momentum, about harnessing that momentum to accomplish tricks in a way that doesn't look like it stands out, that you didn't stop, pause, and then throw a trick in the middle of a movement sequence. Now, I'm a lazy person, ultimately. The nice thing about utilizing momentum is that the better you are at utilizing your momentum, the easier the movements become. So as you master these sequences, you'll find that it feels better and better on your body. It feels like less effort. It feels like you're floating through the movements more and more and more. And that is when you hit flow state, which for me is one of my ultimate goals when I dance. I want to be completely immersed in the movement. I want to feel the full expression of the movement in a way that doesn't ever feel like it's interrupted. I like to think about Ninja Flow as choreography to momentum rather than choreography to music. It isn't just a sequence of movements to memorize. In fact, I threw out quite a few movements that looked really cool in favor of the ones that felt most natural, or in favor of the ones that required a certain deep understanding of that transition, of that momentum through that transition in order to be done well. All of these sequences are meant for intermediate to advanced polars. However, that doesn't mean that you can't take any of these movements and make it your own. If you find anything to be too challenging, or perhaps it doesn't feel natural for you, absolutely I encourage you to explore it, to create something new, to use the same momentum for a different technique entirely. For those of you who have already purchased the complete foundations pack for pole acrobatics, this is a great way to understand how do you use these techniques in a sequence. How do you build a choreography with acrobatics? It is my opinion that you shouldn't feel imprisoned by pole, whether socially or in your own movement. My goal through these packs is for you to experience the freedom of flow.